Hey guys, welcome to the Butter Chicken Podcast. Today we have two special guests on the show. We have a Lamborghini Aventador, the white one, and I have my good friend Phil is on the show. Welcome to the Butter Chicken Podcast, Phil. Thank you for being part of this show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. So I'm gonna dive into the questions. You have this beautiful Aventador. So let's start with the horsepower. How much horsepower this bad boy produce?
Well, from stock it was 700 horsepower, but my good friend at ZR Auto, Zahir, he did an ECU tune and an exhaust upgrade, and now it's pushing 840 horsepower.
Wow, 840 horsepower. That means it's super fast.
Oh, it's really fast.
So let's go back in time because I think I know you long enough that I could tell how many supercars you had in the past, starting with Dodge Viper. No, let's start with Lamborghini. You have one, the black one, right?
Well, it was the Dodge Viper that started.
Okay.
And then it was the Diablo.
Diablo, I remember
1991 Diablo black. And then after that it was a 2004 Gallardo, which we modded it a whole bunch. It was crazy. 1,500 horsepower with that one.
1,500 horsepower. That's
yeah.
Wow. That means it's super fast. So you had a lot of supercars in the past, right? So if you had an option, like is this the best one out of all the supercars you had, or you had some other favorites beside this Aventador?
This by far is the best. Like it's everything. It's crazy. It's just so exotic.
It is. And
Yes.
one thing I've noticed, like, especially if you drive around, especially when we were driving around the city, I could see people were noticing, right, that this is Aventador, right? And I was watching one of the YouTube videos, and the guy who was reviewing this Aventador, he said, it is so hard when you have Aventador or Lamborghini on the road, it's so hard not to notice it.
Yes.
Even the people like, those are not in cars, but they will still, this is a fancy car, right?
Yes. Yeah. It stands out. It really does. It's so sharp looking.
It is. And especially the modification you have done. You got the carbon fiber wrap, you got those yellow strips. So was it a custom done, or that's how you bought this one?
Well, when I got it, it was quite plain. And then we decided, we gotta spruce it up a little bit because we're used to having cars that are modified. And so then we had it and got it wrapped, put a carbon fiber wing on it, and highlighted it with the yellow, which was a surprise to me. I just trusted ZR Auto to do it for me, and he says, I got a surprise. If you don't like it, I'll change it. But turned out we love it. So.
Wow, no, it looks very sharp with the yellow strips on it and black and white color.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Comment below. Do you like the current look up this Aventador, or you want to make a change. So make sure comment below because Phil will be reading those comments, right, Phil?
Oh, yeah. And we're thinking about actually changing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's been almost 2 years like this, so it's just about time for a little bit of a change.
Oh, that's great. So what are you
Yeah.
thinking? Are you thinking any a different color or maybe a different Aventador?
Going to be a surprise.
So it's gonna be a surprise, guys. And you know the funny thing, every time I'll tell my friends about this Lamborghini, when I did the first, I took some pictures. Everybody knew where this is parked in Regina, so I was just laughing. I said, "Yeah, in front of Trifons," because that's like a high traffic area, right, near the university.
Yeah,
a lot of students.
A lot of
goes.
students. Yeah.
And so, what do you think? Like with the thing is, like with the having these exotic cars in Saskatchewan. So we don't have a lot of dealerships here like Lamborghini or Ferrari, right? So is it quite a challenge to have such a car in Saskatchewan? What do you do for a service? Like where do you take it?
Well, most of the time I'll just take it to Calgary and let it get serviced there, either at Lamborghini Calgary or at ZR Auto.
Oh, so
And, yeah, they specialize in all that, and it's I just feel better because they have the computers to get into it if there's a problem and fix things.
Oh, that's great. So it's somewhat a challenge, right? To own a fancy car living in Saskatchewan because we don't at the moment we don't have a lot of. I think we had a Porsche dealership open. I think it was fairly recent.
Yeah,
I could
in
remember.
Saskatoon.
Okay, great. Another thing that I want to ask: how much? I'm just curious to know how much an oil change on the Aventador will cost approximately.
Good question. It's usually a little bit more than an average car.
Oh, really?
Or a truck even. It's because some of the new trucks they can be pretty pricey for an oil change, but probably about $600.
$600, and
Yeah.
then wow, $600 for an oil change.
Just can't go to Mr. Luke and get it done.
No, 600. It's wow. I mean, there's always a price when you have a fancy car, especially Aventador. These newer models, these are costly, right? Buying might be somewhat, some people can afford, but having a regularly maintained, I think that's where the price tag is.
Maintaining it is a whole different story. Like, pretty much anybody can own a supercar, and it's the maintenance though, especially on the older ones. The older ones were very finicky and always breaking down.
Yeah, it will be really costly. And other thing that I want to ask, a lot of people, they know, I'm sure a lot of people in Saskatchewan knows this Lamborghini, especially, but most of the people don't know you, right? So I just want to talk some personal stuff. So I want to ask you, when you were growing up, as a teenager, right? Let's talk about myself. When I was a teenager, I was always fan of a car, especially Nissan Skyline is my dream car. So were you always passionate about cars? Like one day you're going to own a supercar? That's every kid's dream, I guess.
Always. When we were growing up, my family is all about cars, and my dad was a mechanic, auto body repair guy. My brother's a car guy, repair guy, and cars have always been part of our family, and just we love race cars and hot rods.
Oh, that's great. So what was your first car?
Lamborghini Diablo. I remember one day I told my wife, and we've been together since 1985.
Oh, 1985?
School sweethearts.
Wow, that's beautiful, eh?
High school sweethearts.
High school.
And I told her, I says, someday I'm going to own a car like that. I want one. And she just kind of looked at me and was like, that's $200,000 when they were brand new.
Yeah.
And I said, someday. And then all of a sudden, one day, we got it. We just worked really hard to get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's not easy to buy these cars, and you work hard, and there you go. You got a price for working hard. So would you recommend people work hard, and dreams are dreams are achievable if you work hard for it?
Definitely. If you've got your goals set and you work hard, you can achieve them. It's plain and simple. I started out as a delivery driver, washing dishes. So
really?
Yes. Yeah.
When was that? Was it a long time ago you started delivery? And
delivery in 1986.
Wow.
For Trifons Pizza.
And now you are.
And now I have 5 stores.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
This is a motivational for people that are watching out there. If you work hard, it will pay off sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
The goal is to be passionate, have your goals set, and work hard towards it.
And also the other part, your partner. As long as your other better half is behind you
Yeah.
and has the same goals, then anything's achievable.
Well, that's a good advice. I'm single, right? So I will keep an eye on that. Like, find somebody who have the same vision as me.
Yeah.
I don't know if she
I
would
lucked out though. She's great. She has the same visions, and we work together. We're together 24/7.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what I got from you is just like having a strong support from a life partner definitely makes a big difference. So
It does.
a good advice for all the single people like me out there: make sure your partner is supportive, because things can be really positive in future. A good example is this, and
Yes.
that's great. No, I'm glad to hear that. That was something new for me. I never knew about that, but I'm glad that you shared with us. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
So what's other car stuff? Because I know you did a big fancy car show in Regina that even it's been like probably 7 or 8 years, or probably 9 years, probably
10
now.
years
10
now.
years now. People still talk about it. I still have a picture from that car show.
That was a great event. It was just kind of, the guys were coming to town. They're coming to have pizza. And so many people showed up that night. And till this day, people still say, I remember that car show. When are you going to have it again?
So that's my question. When are you planning to do something similar again in future? It's
really hard to put together. Like, to get all these people to come from Calgary and Edmonton, parts of BC, it's hard to get everybody together, because things have changed. A lot of them have families, and now they can't just get up and go like they used to.
Exactly, because I remember I was part of the car show. I think that was the first time I saw Ferrari Enzo, right? And I was like blown away. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So that was my first time having taking a picture with Ferrari Enzo. I think I still have it. I might put it on the podcast. I'm sure I still have it.
It's a beautiful car. Yes.
And what else do you want to say about the car? Like, if somebody's planning to own an Aventador, what suggestions do you have for that person watching this podcast?
Suggestions. Enjoy it. Don't just let it sit for the next person to take out and enjoy. Drive it. I've got 39,000 kilometers on mine, and I bought it with 21,000, and I enjoy it every day. I take it to work. Some people, there's 99% of the people, they enjoy what you have. Mm-hmm. But there's always that 1% that kind of mock you or just don't like that you have it.
Yeah.
And but my customers, they're great. Like, they love it. I've taken some of my customers for rides. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. If you need a free ride, just visit Trifon. I'm just kidding. I want to ask you this question, like, this Aventador as a day-to-day drive, like, how difficult to do groceries, go for golfing, go for, drive-throughs. So how difficult is that? Like, is it comfortable to drive in Aventador and do all those things?
Well, it's not a day-to-day driver or everyday driver, because some of the roads are not that great to be driving on, especially the older areas. So, yeah, you can go get groceries, but you're very limited at how much you can get. Yeah. Oh, we go for coffee all the time, and it's it's just a bit of a challenge.
Challenge, right?
Yeah.
No, I just want to say thank you so much, Phil, for your time. I really appreciate it. And guys, thank you so much for liking the Butter Chicken Podcast Facebook page and liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching the Butter Chicken Podcast show.